Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me attend your virtual career fair. I'm Angela Mason, and I currently work as a continuous improvement engineer at Pfizer. What led me to this role is the problem solving aspect. Um, when I started out of college, I knew that I enjoyed working with people. I enjoyed trying new things, looking at new opportunities and problems within an organization, and being able to solve a problem and having that reward of fixing something. That was really exciting. From a very young age, I wanted to be a doctor. That really was fun for me. I think it was the helping somebody and seeing somebody be cured or fixed or helped or encouraged. That was just really exciting for me. So trying to look at that through middle school and high school, what classes kind of can guide me to that career as a doctor or somebody who would do those things day to day. So I did go through college, University of Tennessee, and I studied biomedical engineering and mechanical engineering and minored in material science engineering. So in middle school and high school, a lot of science, math, biologies, chemistries, physics, but I also did a lot of the arts as well. My parents had me really involved in soccer, Girl Scouts, and piano. So making sure you're exposed in a lot of different areas is really helpful to find what you do like and what you don't like. So that really helped me get to where I am now. Also being able to take risks. So out of college, I moved a lot. I moved like on average once every 2 years. So after college in Tennessee, I moved to Illinois and I was there for a year, and then I moved to Ohio and I was there for 2 years, and I moved to Mississippi and I was there for 2 years, and now I'm in Boston. So a lot of change. You see the theme with me, change, but that was really what got me to where I am, was getting different experiences, seeing different things, asking questions, different perspectives. As a continuous improvement engineer, it's really good and critical to ask questions. And the number one question I ask every day is why. So if you remember when you were probably 1, 2, 3, whenever you could learn how to speak, you were asking why? That's it. That's how you get to the root cause of problems. And that's my job. So the skills required in my job right now as a continuous improvement engineer is asking a lot of questions. My engineering background, it definitely teaches you, of course, to solve problems theoretically. Understanding equations and theories is critical, but the real meat of it is the application, right? So theory is great until you apply it. The theory of a car is great, but if the car doesn't run, it's not great. So really translating engineering, your biologies, your sciences, your arts into application is really critical for my job, and honestly any job, is making sure that you understand how to create tangible results, things you can see to benefit the company or the organization you work for. And that's the job that I do. So I support the manufacturing area, the clean room. So think of a clean room as a hospital room, which is very clean, low particulates. So we have high efficiency air to clean the air, get circulation in the air. We have the same system in our manufacturing for, say, the COVID vaccine, to make sure they are free of particulates and contaminants, per regulations. So that is where I work. I work right now remotely in my comfortable attire, but I do support our manufacturing areas and improving processes, especially scale up for COVID. So how do we get our manufacturing to meet the global demand? The best part of my job now, I would say, is being able to interpret and use data and form it into information. So data, it could be just a bunch of numbers and some metadata which describes the numbers. So say you have a lot of information on how much money you spend every month, right? You have all of your lists of what you spend, how much food you eat, if you're having fun and you're spending money, that's data. But how do you turn that into information? And what's the difference between data and information? Information is just that. It helps you make a decision. So if you take information, you could say, this data is telling me I'm spending too much money on food, or this data is telling me I'm spending too much money on shoes. So really, corporations really want to know what their data is telling them. And then what does that do? That helps you understand your problem or your opportunities to improve or reduce your spending or whatever your data is. So this job really is data-driven decisions. I've been able to use a lot of statistical software, Minitab. There's a lot of programs that help with my job to make it easier to look at statistics and understand where our problems and opportunities are. Long-term career goal, I would say I would like to continue to develop in my skills. I've lived in a lot of places. I've moved around a lot. I've had different roles and projects. I think now I have that breadth, that wide experience. I would like to get deeper into one job. So maybe learning more about, getting my black belt certification. So there's certifications within certain roles and jobs. So that is an opportunity that I'm looking at within Pfizer, is to get to be a pro at my job. Not necessarily wanting to look for a promotion or anything like that, but if I can be the best at what I do now, that will really benefit me and the company and the teams that I work with. I would say any advice that I could give, it would be to really understand your strengths. So sometimes we oftentimes only try to develop our weaknesses, right? And so the book Strengths Finders, I learned a lot in that our strengths are innate. They're built in us. They're already strengths. If we develop what we're strong at, that can really propel us in our career. What advice I would give to students in an interview? And that depends on the interview. I know with going from one school to the next, if you're applying for a high school or college, I would say definitely be yourself. Be yourself, be authentic, practice your responses, maybe work with somebody to, do a mock interview, just try it out to get comfortable, but definitely be yourself. People can see through, so don't try to fake who you're not. You want to be your authentic self. You have gifts, you have talents. People want to see that. And as someone who has hired and interviewed people, I can tell when someone's being really authentic. They're asking questions, they're showing interest. They don't have to fake, the interview or try to be too rigid. So I would say definitely be yourself. Practice a few questions with a brother, sister, a counselor, a mom, a dad, and just say, hey, can you help me with these questions? And just practice, and they can give you advice. Last thing for an interview, never go in without a question. Questions show that you're interested. Questions show that you want it. And you do want it because you showed up, right? So make sure you have at least one or two questions and think about the questions. Make sure they're open-ended questions. These are questions that don't answer in a yes or no. So questions that ask who, what, where, when, why, right? So make sure you ask those type of questions. And that'll take you really far. And smile. The job outlook for continuous improvement engineers or statisticians is big. With as much data as we have already, we need more people that can turn that data into information. We need people that can turn it into tangible results, people that can make it into something to show results, for the company, for an organization. So this is huge. And I really see the opportunities wherever you are in a job or, a position. You can use the skills of problem solving. And I've seen a lot of companies and organizations train their own people on Lean Six Sigma problem solving. They want everybody to be problem solvers, right? So my role is it's a role in that I own projects and I own initiatives, but the goal of many organizations and companies is that everybody is at the same level, thinking at the same level, asking the same questions as a continuous improvement engineer. So the outlook is big because we need to improve everything, right? And data and information helps us get there.